Good afternoon and welcome to Friday with Fiona. I think I'm having a slight technical issue, and also the cat just came up here for the first time and I bent down to pat her and she freaked out. So yeah, it came up saying that I needed to be on my page, which I thought I was. So I'm hoping that I am, but it doesn't look like I am for some reason. Hello, you going to come and say hello? She's exploring. So it might just be YouTube that I'm on. I'm not 100% sure and I don't know how to check. But that's okay. I can always upload it to Facebook afterwards. So today I'm using the Extraordinary Life. This should have been last week's Friday with Fiona, but it was unbearably hot and I was adopting the cat this time last week. But we're using, this is the stamp set, and these are the dies. Really, really fun, and I haven't really used them. So I'm just going to turn you down to my hands. I've also been working using the poinsettia, pretty poinsettia bundle, trying to get the October, I can't speak properly, the October card club ready, and I'm just absolutely in love with these cards. With the poinsettia, it is just stunning. White, red. I haven't done any pink ones yet. I've done, where's the first one? Yeah, there. That's soft sea foam. But yeah, gorgeous. So and you'll get a box, make a box as well to keep them in. But this is a cross between a card and a scrapbook, and I thought at the moment, with everybody getting their results, the A-level and GCSEs and graduations at university, which my granddaughter had, this would work really, really well. So I haven't actually put any photos in this one. You've got a belly band, which is lovely, and then, oh, it's upside down, and then you open it up and you have these layers. You could put an additional photo in there. I've left that for the message. I've also punched all these out, and on this one I've stuck them all down, which I will need to lift them up to save my photos. So you've got space for 4 photos basically, and then a lovely belly band to keep that on, and it's using Lost Lagoon, which I haven't used for a long time, in this beautiful, and the designer series paper has a different name, doesn't it always? It's got beautiful pool party polka dot there. This is called Extraordinary Life. So I just thought I would make another one, and then I've got 2 for my 2 granddaughters, and I can celebrate their extraordinary results, because they're both brilliant. So on the rear side of this you have some leaves. So I fussy cut that, so you don't have to sit and watch me fussy cut. And I think I've got everything ready. I've cut everything. I will give you the measurements as I go. I think I've written them down. Yeah, okay. I think the cat's gone. She's had enough. She's very shy and she doesn't like noise, so probably the sound of me talking. I love this die cut, the window frame. So this was a scalloped blooms die that I used for this one, but this one I thought I was going to use the little photo frame. It's got a little hole in one place. I have to find it to match them up, and then layered it with the polka dots, because the DSP on its own is too, no, that doesn't fit. That's interesting. Aha, there's another one down there. Does that fit? Yes, that fits. So I need to put some glue, and then they've got the what do you call these? Not flaps, tabs. And I've done one in the cardstock and one in the designer series paper, and then I cut out on the reverse side of the designer series paper so that it can go on the back, like so. So when you turn it over, you see the same thing. So there's quite a bit of gluing to be done, and then we can put everything together. And then there's this is So this is Lost Lagoon, this is Flirty Flamingo, and then these are our decorations. And I'll show you where they go, but I may not put them on this time because I've now got some photos that I want to use. So let's start with, I didn't want to use that either. There we go. So your card base is in inches. It's 5 1/4 wide by 10 7/8, and it's scored at 1 13/16 and 3 5/8 from each side. So I'll just show you that because they're tricky. So bring this so you can see it. Sorry about the reflection. So here's your inch, and then you've got your eighth, your quarter, your half, your 3/4, and then the ones in between are 16th. So 13/16 is, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's there is 13. So let's show you. This one. What is it? 1 and 8, 10, 12, 13. There we go. 13/16, and so score it. And then it's 3 5/8, which is much easier. 4, 5/8, and then you repeat the same at the other end, and so you end up with this gatefold, which would normally go like that, but we're having it this way. Okay. Then the flip out panel, flip out panels here are 5 1/4 by 3 1/4, and I've scored it at 3/4 of an inch, and I folded it back. So this is the good side of the card. There's not really much difference, but because that is going to get glued down and then fold in, and the same with this one is going to get glued down and fold in. Okay, and then to do the belly band, I don't know how long this is. I actually used the leftover bits and I checked that it worked, and this is only right, 8 1/4 by 1 and 3/8, and it was just a leftover strip of card basically. So you can make it thinner or wider than you want it. Then we've got our layers. So I've got Flirty Flamingo, and I've got 3 of these, and that, no, I've not, I've got 4. 4 1/4 by 3 inches, and they are going to layer on both sides of this. And then our white layers, again, I've got 4, and that's 4 1/8 by 2 7/8. So I'm going to start off by layering things, and then we'll start putting it together. Oh, and then we've got some designer series paper, which is to decorate the folds and this piece here. So these bits are 5 1/8 by 1 11/16, and you want 2 the same, and then you want another 2 the same but different to the first one, the same, 5 1/8 by 11 1/16, and then this is 5 1/8 by 3 1/2, and I think I might have trimmed it down slightly because when I closed it, it wasn't folding properly, so I just literally trimmed a smidge off there. And I'm having the multicolour side. You can have whatever you want. And then the bit for the belly band, this is slightly longer, but it's the same width. And then I'll just, oh no, actually, yeah, it's a fraction longer, and then I'll trim that. And then from the Filled with Sweetness designer series paper, I die cut the note paper using this die. Okay, the only one I haven't used, which I really want to, is the ampersand, but I haven't found a use for that. So, okay, so let me move the designer series paper, and we'll do that last, as I want to do these layers first. So I've got my Flirty Flamingo, make sure it's the right side up. I can tell because my edges are slightly rough where I've cut them. Okay, I'm going to use Seal Plus because it's going to have photos on it. I want it to make sure that it doesn't come apart. So let's keep that over the, so you don't see the reflection of the lights, and then I can use that as my silicone mat. I can use that for my glue. And because Seal Plus is so expensive and so strong, I'm just doing the corners in the middle, and then I'm going to layer that onto my Flirty Flamingo. Okay, that's one. Two. So we finally had some rain. Wednesday we had about 3 hours of rain. There was puddles outside, but by the afternoon, honestly, you couldn't, I mean, it was great, but by the afternoon you couldn't tell that it had rained. It was so dry again. And then yesterday, those of you who might have seen on my page, I posted a picture. We went to pick up my husband's ashes. My stepsons came with me, and we brought him home, and then we went out for lunch, and I put the seat covers out but hadn't put the umbrella up, and it rained while we were at lunch, and when I came home my seat cushions were soaking, and I thought, oh okay, I'll tip them up and I'll leave them to dry. And then it started raining again, and I rushed out. One was virtually dry, and the other one, literally, I turned it on its side, and from the crease from like the back to the seat bit, there was a river of water. It was so funny. That's a bit too short, but that's okay. That can go on one of the back ones. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my, should we add these first? Yeah, I'll add these first, and then we'll glue it too. So I'm going to put a little bit more on because I want to make sure they don't come off. That is the back. So this is, which is the one I wanted to go on the back, the one that I made a mess of. I think it might be that one. No, it's not that one. They all look okay to me now. Maybe this one. This one can go on the back. So I've really enjoyed playing with the poinsettia, pretty poinsettia stamps and dies. The dies particularly, absolutely adore the poinsettia. And the cards are gorgeous. So when I got myself organised and priced it, I will do a little video to show you them. And if you'd like to make some Christmas cards and really wow your friends and family, because these really are wows. And with Card Club, I do everything's prepped for you. Which way did I do it? I didn't get to do it this way. And you don't have to use, obviously I can't stamp sentiments for you, so you can use sentiments that you've already got. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm going to bring this in. Let's put the designer series paper on. Okay, that's the top, bottom. Doesn't make much difference at the moment because we haven't started putting things on. I should have brought some photos up to show you how they went in. But I am actually going to need to. I've got some of my granddaughter's graduation. I need to trim those down. I think that one might be too long actually. Yeah, need to just trim this one down. Nope, still too long. Okay, so this is how not to prep your paper. There we go. You want to see the Lost Lagoon. Right, and then the honeycomb. It's all black and white on the other side, and that's going to need to be trimmed as well. Goodness me. I wasn't very good with my cutting, was I? Needs to be cut longwise as well as one bit's better than the other. Just cutting a 16th off. And then this end I'm going to cut that much off. Fabulous little trimmers. That one was a celebration. I think it was when we were in lockdown actually, 2020. Let's see if this fits better now. That's much better. Right, so it's not straight, but never mind. Done is better than perfect is a phrase I keep hearing. So okay, there we go. And then this is going to go in the middle. And then I've got this for my message. So I'm just going to pop some. And then I've got the things to decorate. What did I do on the inside of this one? Just put the honeycomb, not the honeycomb, the okay. And then, oh no, I shouldn't have put that down. I've got to take it up. This spatula is amazing. Now, I didn't push down on it, which is why I'm able to get it up. If I pushed down on it, it would be ripping the paper and everything, but fortunately, it's not. There we go. Because I need to put these on, I'm going to use wet glue because they will give me a minute of, and it's going to go like that with the embossed edge, not embossed, scored edge over the edge, if that makes sense. So let's just eyeballing it between the score lines, and then this score line is off the edge. Yeah, and it will fold in like that. There we go. So now I need to do the other one. Oops, I'm going to line that up. I'm right-handed, which is why I'm doing it on my right-hand side, but obviously if you're left-handed, you do it at the side, whichever is easier for you. I'm just going to close that so that I can line this up with it. Just get my score line off the edge. Yep, perfect. Okay, now I can put my paper down. So I'm going to use wet glue now because obviously I've pulled it up. It's still sticky or tacky, but this will just give it a little bit more. Now, because we're only making the one project today, it is still a free class to go, and if you spend £30, when you spend £30 in my store, I will send you a kit to make 4 of these, and everything will be cut and die cut for you. Okay, but it will just be, but then that's great, because if like me you've got multiple people that you need to give sort of photos to, it'll work really well. But yeah, everything will be die cut for you, everything will be cut for you, but I won't be able to do any stamping. And in fact, the only bit I stamped here was noteworthy, and I won't do any stamping today. And then you can just do your own sentiments. I just need to get, there's a little bit of glue coming out here. There we go. So that'll go in like that, and like that. But what I haven't done is my flaps. So let's bring the flaps in. And I showed you that I'd done one the correct way in cardstock, one the correct way in designer series paper, and one on the back of the designer series paper. And there we go. So just need to put some glue on those. I'm just going to use wet glue and little, there is a saying and I can't remember what it is, just a dot, something like that, but I can't remember what the saying is. And line it up with my arrows. Got glue all over my finger. I'll get it off in a second. Line up my arrows. Okay, that one can go on there now. And then this one. So this is the back. There we go. So let's bring it in, and it's going to go on, now which side, let's work this out. It goes on the underside, yeah. So here and here. Let's bring it in a bit. So that's the back. And I'm just going to get my pegs ready. 1, 2, 3. Trying not to get glue all over myself is tricky. So you have the front of the tab when it's open. There we go. And then the same with this side. Just turn it around. This is going to be upside down now, so it needs to go like that. Use my tweezers. I really struggled to get hold of it that time. How are we doing for time? Okay, so there you've got your photo bits, and then your decor. So the heart is going on the belly band. Let's see, where did I put things? And also this heart. So I haven't done, you should have just something there for your sentiments, which I seem to have mislaid, but I'll make sure that's included. And the heart is going on the belly band, that's going on the belly band. Where does this go? There's a little heart somewhere. Yeah, so you've got the inside of the hexagon and a tab and a little heart, but I'm not going to decorate those. I would die cut them all for you, but I'm not going to do them now because I do want to put the photos down, and I'm going to have to lift those ones up or cover them up and then redo them with that one. So let's get to what I might do. Where did that little heart go? I've probably lost it now because I had it on here. Yeah, I have. I've lost it. I knew that would happen. No, it's there. I'm going to put a tiny little, whoops-a-daisy, tiny bit of glue here. Give it a few seconds to dry because it is such a small heart. So I'm going to let that go tacky. Let's make a bit of space on my desk. Right, the belly band. Let's just move that to one side for a minute. So there's a bit more gluing of this. Silicone mats are fabulous. I just realised it's, let me cover the circle. There we go. The belly band, the silicone mats are brilliant for taking glue. Starting to feel a bit empty, this tube. It felt full yesterday. Okay. And then I really want the pool party bit, although it's probably going to be covered up. But I do love pool party. Okay, and then this is the one that's already been made. Mine's still drying over there. Wrap it round and not too tight. we go. So I've got the crease, and then whoops a daisy, I'm going to put some glue on here. And some glue on here. Let that dry. Bring this back in, and I'll get my, oh, I can never remember what it's called. Pick up tool. That's the wrong side, so let's turn it to the right side. Still the wrong side. There we go. And then I can just pop it down on top of that bit of glue. And let that dry. Take my other pegs away. There's my belly band. A bit of glue has come out on the belly band, I can see that, but we're going to cover that up. I just want to make sure it fits, which it should do. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to decorate the belly band. Let's put that back on there. Okay. And so I've got my photo frame, and I just need to line up my paper so that it's in the right, and it's covering up. No, I don't know if you can see, I can see Lost Lagoon through there, so it's the wrong way round. So turn it right round. Okay. Hopefully that will do it. Adhesive sheets would have been good for this. But last time I used adhesive sheets, I didn't actually need it and they got in the way, so that was with one of the poinsettias. Okay. And then that is going to go on there. Like so. But I think, I don't know. I think I might put just a square of Flirty Flamingo behind there, because it does leave a gap. So I'm going to mark it where I'm going to cut it. It's very handy having that little thing there. Let me turn my glue upside down so that it can adapt. Okay, I've cut it a bit wider than that mark so that I know that I'm going to need to trim a little bit off. Let's see. Yeah, just a little. And again, this is going to be quite tricky because of the glue. So let's pop the glue. I'm being very, very light-handed with it, and I am also going to give it a minute till it goes tacky. A couple of minutes till it goes tacky. Because there are some things that I haven't shared with you that's going on with Stampin' Up at the moment. So today is the last day of 3 days of double rewards. So normally for every £20 you spend, you get... So every £20 you spend, you get 10%. So you'd get £2 in Stampin' Rewards. If you spend £100, you'll get £10. And until 11 o'clock tonight, it's double rewards. So if you spend £100, you'll get £20. Does that make sense? And also until the end of August, we've got 15% off selected designer series paper. So that's a great offer if you love your designer series paper, which, let's face it, who doesn't really like designer series paper? And what else is going on? I think that might be it. Oh, Last Chance was refreshed at the beginning of August, so there's some great offers there. Yeah, so okay, because I've been so sparing with the glue, I think that's going to go tacky quite quickly. So let's try putting that on there. And because it's on the silicone mat should absorb any excess that's squeezing out, hopefully. Okay, so I put my heart there, and then my photos are going to go there. Could use flip-flaps actually, 4 by 3, but you'd need to, depends where the opening is. Right, let's pop this round. Oh, it doesn't want to come out, did it? Excess glue again. Okay, pop this round. And then there's the join, which you can't really see, but that is going to cover it. Now I'm going to pop that on with dimensionals. Okay, I'm going to mark it with a pencil. So inside of those lines. And I'm not stingy with my dimensionals. Honestly, I watched some demonstrators and they put like they'd put one dimensional on for this, and I'm like, what? It's going to come off. There we go, 6, that should do it. That's golden glow. I don't know how that got on there. I had started drawing on the back of my dimensionals so that I knew if the backings were off, but I've got out of a lot of habits of not crafting really. So I'm hoping to get back into some sort of routine. The only routine I'm in at the moment is getting up to feed the cat, because she's waiting for me when I go down. There we go. I think that's lovely. And then I've got my, what did I have on this one? Oh, I had to cherish this. So I'm going to pop that across there. with wet glue. I think that should be enough because it probably go off the top. Like so. And then I'm going to pop my big heart. I wonder if I've got, I think one of the sentiments, is it on this one that says hugs? Oh no, it isn't, it's cherish this. One of the sets we've got says hugs. Oh gosh, if only I could remember which set it was. I wonder if cherish this will fit on here. It will. So if I do that in Secret C, because you're giving photos, so you know it's memories that you're asking them to cherish. Okay, Secret C. It's very sticky because I haven't used it. I'm going to stamp it onto the glass mat, that'd be better. And I've over inked it. One of the things I learned when I was doing a virtual album retreat, is the longer you hold your stamp on, the darker the ink's going to be. You don't need to push down, you just need to hold it in place. So that's good, like that. Let's just give this a quick clean. Okay, and then it's going to go over there like so with, you've guessed it, dimensionals. Yeah, I'm just going to do 2 because it's going to go off the edge, so I don't want it sticking to the card base. And I'm going to pop some, these are the Moody palette dots, and I'm going to pop some, I think they're cloud cover actually. But they kind of look like pool party. Are they cloud cover or pool party? It doesn't say on here. I should start writing the colours on them. There you go. So this was the one I did with the scalloped blooms circle die, and that's the designer series paper, so obviously that is a bit bigger. And then this is the one that I did with the extraordinary life. I'm just thinking maybe that should have been Lost Lagoon rather than Flirty Flamingo, but yeah, I really love it, and I'm going to pop some photos in, and then I've got my decorations. But as I say, when you spend £30 in my online store, I will prep everything for you to make 4 of them and pop them in the post to you for free. So that would be something I'd love to see what you make if you use other designer series papers. So thanks for joining me. Next week, I think it might be online No, it's not actually. It's still August. What are we today? 21st. It's the 28th. Yes, it will be the last Friday. So it'll be my online workshop. So it'll be 4 projects. And do you know what? I'm going to go with Halloween because I need to prep my September card club. So we'll go with that. Let me just pop on and say goodbye. Yeah, so next week with the online workshop with 4 projects, and I'm going to do Halloween using the Fright Night set. Just love it. So yeah, watch out for that. Thanks for joining me. See you next week. Bye.